want to ask you one last question. That's going to be about the NCAA tournament. And so listen, this year in college basketball, it's, the number one pick in the NBA draft this year is a guy out of France named Victor Wembanyama, who I absolutely love. There are people that are going to be in the G League. Obviously, Alabama's Miller has been dealing with some controversial trouble, even though he's going to be a top 5 pick in the draft, it sounds like. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this tournament. There's not a real dominating team, I would say, this year that's a clear-cut number one favorite, just like the NBA. But I know you're a big March Madness guy, so go ahead and give us some insight on kind of your favorites for the tournament and maybe some teams that you think, may or may not be ranked high that could potentially go far in the tournament.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at the AP top 25 right now, and here are the top 5 teams. Houston's at 1, UCLA is at 2, Kansas is at 3, Bama is at 4, Purdue's at 5. And then 6 through 10, Marquette's at 6, Texas at 7, Arizona at 8, Gonzaga at 9, Baylor at 10. When I think of March Madness, I think of which team has the best guard play. Guard play always wins you titles. You can have great bigs, but the guard play is what accelerates you to getting a ring. And I look at Kansas last year. Yeah. They had great guard play and good shooting from Ochai Agbaji.
Yep.
And then I forgot their point guard's name, but he's back on the team this year. I know that. He played great. McCormick was a great big inside who really helped that team out. And I know Kansas, Jalen Wilson, he's on the team again. And this is kind of going to lead into what I was going to say. Kansas is at 3 right now. You have Jalen Wilson, and I really like Grady Dick a lot.
Yeah.
I think Grady Dick's going to be good for Kansas. And they have that, like I said, they have that point guard. I forgot his name, but he's got the headband that plays. He's back on the team this year. So ultimately, when I look at March Madness, I look at what team has the best guard play. Now I look at the teams in the top 5. I don't think that Houston's going to win.
Okay.
And I don't think Houston will win because I just think with a team like Houston who plays in the AAC, you don't get enough competition throughout the year for me to think, man, this team has been through the ringer. They've been through some trials and tribulations to get to where a national title would be warranted. UCLA, I think they have a legitimate shot this year.
Okay.
A couple years ago, they made a run. They still have Tiger Campbell. They still have Jamie Jaquez Jr. They got some good players, and I know that they're 2 right now. I'm personally probably leaning UCLA as of now. Now, I got to see what a bracket looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't know what a bracket looks like yet, but I think out of all the teams that I mentioned right now, I'm going to go ahead and say UCLA is my pick to win it.
Okay.
I'm not going to pick Kansas, even though I think they can go on a deep run, because it is rare for a team to go back to back.
It's hard to go back to back. Yep.
I don't think, as much as I like the guard play with Grady Dick and Jalen Wilson, I just don't know if they could do it again. And they already were in the championship game last year. They might get back to it, but I don't know if they can. Alabama, I like them a lot as well. I think Brandon Miller is one of the most exciting players. Despite everything that's going on with that program, he is one of the best players.
And it sounds like he's going to be tournament eligible. So, until that is no longer final, I agree with you there.
Yeah, I think Brandon Miller for sure is a guy who I think is going to turn up Alabama and get them to where they need to be. I think Alabama can win it all too. I think UCLA and Alabama are the 2 teams that I look at right now that can easily win it all.
This is arguably Bama's best. Obviously they're known for their football program. This is arguably their best college basketball team they've ever had because they, at least in our lifetime, they have not been known as a basketball program. They have been over the last couple of years. But this year they feel like they're definitely a legitimate national contender. I wanted to ask you just on a general scope, obviously not knowing the bracket, but do you feel like, again, because this year feels like that there's more balance and obviously there's still a lot of talent that's coming. There's still going to be a lot of great college basketball players to watch leading into this draft. But it's not, completely star-studded, I would say, with, all top 5 talent. Do you think because maybe it's sort of more even in order to spread out, is there a possibility that we do get more upsets this year in the tournament than we usually do? That's a possibility.
Wherever Oral Roberts is in the first round, I'm picking him. Like, that's just
Okay.
how it is. Like, I think that there are some teams, like mid-major teams, that can definitely cause carnage. Charleston's one of them. I
Yeah.
think if they don't win their conference title, that they're probably going to be an outright in
Okay.
because they are 21. No, they're either 29-3 or 30-3 right now.
Yeah,
But
and
they
they're
have
like
played.
almost undefeated in the conference, I believe, too.
Yeah, I know they lost to UNC Wilmington, who, funny enough, that's who they're playing in the title game. So I think that they could cause something. I'll always go ahead and say if Kent State makes it,
Yeah.
I think Kent State could go to the Sweet 16. They showed
Well,
Houston fight this year. They showed Charleston some fight this year, and they showed Gonzaga some fight this year. So I think there's a lot of balance. Brandon, we're going to see a lot more upsets. I know
yeah.
that. Everyone has. This is going to be probably the craziest March Madness that we've seen in probably
A-
5 or 10 years.
Am I right? Did Kent break their record for most straight home wins in school history? Is that right or no?
In school history, I believe so. I haven't really paid attention to their home history,
Yeah.
in terms of winning. I know they went undefeated this year,
Yeah, I
and
just know they're having a good year.
they have the second longest home winning streak in Division One basketball right now.
Okay.
The only team that is ahead of them are the UCLA Bruins.
Hey, go Flashes. There you go. There's some insight from the one and only Austin Arnold, who is still at Kent State from Let's Get It Straight. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up there.